kids, it's Miss Barnett, and today I'm going to teach you about fables, and I'm going to read The Crow and the Fox. But first, let's review some fable features. Fables are fiction stories. That means that they are fake. They're made up. They have not happened before. One of the things that makes fables fiction is that fables frequently have animals as the main characters, and the animals act like people. So here's a great example of the tortoise and the hare, and they are having a running race with each other. They're wearing human clothes and they're having conversations with each other. That would never happen in real life. Another fable feature is that fables teach a lesson. In every single fable, you will learn a lesson. Another word for lesson is moral. The moral of the story is the lesson that you learn. That actually is the author's purpose. The author's purpose is to entertain you and to teach you a lesson. So in every single fable, the author wants you to learn something and apply it to your own life. And even though you might not be a talking animal, you can still learn from the story. However, one of the biggest differences between fairy tales and fables is that fables do not have to have happy endings. So as you can see from this illustration of the boy who cried wolf, this is an example of the boy who keeps lying and lying and lying, and no one believes him, and finally the wolf eats all of his sheep. This is an example of an ending that is not so happy. In all fairy tales, they end with the bad character dying or disappearing and the good character winning and living happily ever after. This is not the case in fables. Some fables have happy endings and some do not. The only thing that is really important that all fables have is that moral. So I'm going to share with you a new fable for today, and it is called The Crow and the Fox. Let's get started. This is one of Aesop's fables. One bright morning, a crow was flying around and saw a piece of cheese on a windowsill.
Ooh, cheese! Yummy! Even if my friends beg me, I'm not sharing. Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha!
The crow quickly took the cheese in his beak and flew off high in the air. After flying far, far away, the crow landed on a branch. I've never seen a bird as beautiful as you. Upon hearing these wonderful words, the crow immediately began to look around.
Huh?
And how do you keep your feathers so lustrous? The crow could see the fox under the tree praising him.
You can't fool me. I know you're just after my cheese,
thought the crow. He quickly turned his head and pretended not to hear the fox's words. Now, all you need is a beautiful singing voice, and you will be as the most amazing crow ever. Then the fox turned around as if she were planning to leave. Now the crow was determined to show off his voice and sing for the fox as loud as he could. Just as the crow opened his mouth, the cheese fell from his beak. The fox ran for the fallen piece of cheese and took it in her mouth. Thanks, Crow. The crow realized he had finally fallen for the fox's trick, but it was too late.
Oh, my cheese!
And that is the end of the story. So, we need to figure out, we know that this did not have a happy ending, but we need to figure out what the moral of the story is, because that is the author's purpose, is to teach us a lesson. So, there's really two different lessons that we can learn. The first lesson, which you might have heard at the very, very beginning of the fable when I was reading it, is that we should share. Maybe if the bird would have shared with the fox at the very, very beginning, then both of them would have had some cheese. That would have been one good lesson, and maybe that's something that we can take away and apply to our life. Let's share. The other is don't get tricked. Sometimes there will be people who try to trick you. They might say things to get you to like them, and really all they want is you to give them something. So make sure that you're being careful with who you're listening to and that you're not listening to lies and false praise. Stay true to yourself and trust trustworthy people. Do not trust just anybody. So these are the morals of this story, and I hope that you learned something from this fable. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.